So it's time to catch up with myself with the past 3 weeks of trading. I need to do a recap for each week, and this is overall a monthly recap at this point. The last week I have recapped on YouTube was the week of October 10th, and I did not trade the week after. There was a lot of questions I had about my strategy and how I was going to apply friction into my environment and my system. So I took a break to decide on how I might do that moving forward. I only missed one trade and it was a loss, so dodged a bullet. The next week, the 20th through the 24th, I took every setup I was supposed to and followed my rules accordingly. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 trades total. There were actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 trades total I should have taken, so I actually missed one technically, but it's okay because it was a loser. It was a type of trade that I am beginning to question right now anyway. So essentially, these two trades on gold, both of these trades had very large candles attached to them. So trade number 1 tapped into the zone up here. Your first entry candle was the first close below the EMA here, and I had my stop loss 6 points according to my rules. I got waxed immediately. Now, if I had had my stop loss above the candle, like normal people do with their structure, then I would have made 2R. Same goes for trade number 2 that I did not take, but I was technically supposed to. It got tapped into the zone here. Your first entry is here. Candle is 18 points big, and you would not have made, or you would have made 2R. If I would have taken this trade, I would have followed my rules. I would have had a 6-point stop loss, and I would have gotten waxed in 30 seconds. So this leads me to believe that my rules for rounding up and down my stop losses may not be the best choice. Gold has been seeing a lot more volume lately, hitting all-time highs multiple times in the past few months. So with this new information, I might need to change how I do things. Not much else to say about this particular week. I pretty much did what I was supposed to. These notes under the trades for Monday and Wednesday are just referring to what I just explained. After Wednesday, I noticed this phenomenon as far as the rounding up and down the stop losses. I have this rule in place because usually it doesn't affect the outcome. Usually if the trade wins, it were to have won with or without a 6-point stop loss. 6-12, it usually wins regardless. This is one of those instances where that breathing room is necessary, and I only would have won if I had that breathing room. Once I wrote this note, I noticed this kind of applied to Monday's trade as well. But Monday's trade, it played in my favor. I had that 6-point stop loss, not even covering this whole candle, and I still ended up winning. If I were to have followed the rules regarding giving a lot of space like normal people do, then I would have had something more like this, and it still hit 2R. Even if I had it at the top of the zone, essentially 18 points, you still get your 2R target. Now, it is a bit weird because anything under 18, you hit 1R and it goes to break even. So the only way to escape this is to pretty much have a 19-point stop loss and cover this whole fair value gap with the stop loss, therefore giving room for this to play out. Or to do what I did and have the stop loss small enough to where the momentum just carries it straight to the target and I don't have to worry about this pullback that happened getting me out for break even. So once I noticed that, I decided to move forward as usual, following the rules normally because I didn't know what I wanted to do. I was still on vacation for this upcoming week as well, so I didn't really have too much time to research what I needed to do moving forward, but I have an idea now. So this week I traded normally, and it went well. I say it went well, I mean the process was followed. The result was not so exciting. I took 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 trades, and I was supposed to take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 trades. I took all the trades I was supposed to. This yellow outlined trade is just referring to another one where I was victim to the volume. So same exact concept here. Tapped into the zone. This wasn't an entry candle, but this was. I had a 6-point stop loss. I got waxed. If I would have had it above this candle here, you would have hit your target. Even if I covered this fair value gap, had it above this first bearish candle, you still would have hit the 2R target. Other than that, everything went well. I do want to acknowledge that on this first trade, I actually had a lot of emotions that I overcame. I was very angry when I got waxed like that and saw it go in my direction directly afterwards, but I managed my emotions very well. I was about to get into some revenge trading. I was having FOMO, but I took some deep breaths like I said I was going to, and I did not take any irrational trades, which is great. Moving forward, I have a few different plans. I am implementing friction into my environment and my process. I have not been using NinjaTrader quite yet. That's how I apply the friction directly into the platform, into the system. And the environmental friction is a bit weird, especially since I was just on vacation. I'm having to trade in the car or in an environment I'm not used to. So implementing friction is a little weird, a little difficult. But regardless, the deep breaths have been doing wonders, so I will continue doing that. I will continue to introduce friction in whatever ways that I can. Whenever I trade here, I will probably be standing up far away from my laptop, so I don't have the ability to take a trade if I wanted to. I'm also looking into changing time frames for this strategy. Instead of the 5 minute, go to the 1 minute, but I need to do a lot of back testing, a lot of data analyzation before I can decide if that is worth doing. The overall stats for the month, these entry C candle setups I haven't been taking in a couple months, so I didn't take any here, but I took 15 trades and only won 3 of them. I mean, it's not really my fault. If anything, the volume is at fault here. If I had been including volume into my stop loss placement, then I would have won at least 6 trades, maybe 7 or 8. And instead of being down 9R, I would be down like 3R or something. Regardless, this would be a losing month, but definitely not as big as it is. The expectations were to take 14 trades, still only win 3 of them. Slightly better returns, but nothing crazy. I am not using the slash here to indicate with or without contract limitations. I don't really care about that right now, especially with the research that I'm doing. And I'm using Apex accounts, so I don't know if contract limitations will be a problem moving forward. In the case that I do want to implement these types of setups in the future, I did record this, but I take it with a grain of salt as I'm not using those right now. On to November, into bigger and better things. Hopefully I can improve my execution and this strategy a little bit more each and every day.